Wonderful. With the live stream in order, I will start again and say a big welcome to everyone for coming to this event. Thank you so much for being here, for sparing an hour of or 45 minutes of your time. It's wonderful to see faces that I've seen before. It's also lovely to have brand new people here on this topic. So a special welcome to anyone who's new for that note. Just to give a little bit of introduction, I'm Naomi. I think I've said to a few of you already, but I work for Open Dialogue's International Foundation on running these fantastic dialogue events. Each month we pick a different topic and we create a space for dialogue and for communication about really, really important social issues that are affecting our activism and our everyday life, both climate related, but also more broadly social justice, inclusion, equity related. So for this month, we have picked the topic of digitalisation, particularly focusing on the digital divide, its impact on inequality, and how that changes the nature of our activism work. So digitalisation is understandably getting a lot of hype from across sectors, both advocacy and beyond. This is a really positive thing for lots of communities and for lots of individuals because it gives them meaningful access to digital spaces that they otherwise do not have. However, at the same time, it's worth taking the time to look at the challenges and the caveats that come along with that digital transformation, especially as we examine the challenges for marginalised groups, how the nature of online activism is evolving, both for the good and the bad, and what can be done to create a more inclusive digital future. Sounds very big words for 1 hour of event, but we look forward to having you all here. We look forward to having you for the discussion. I hope you find this event interesting. As a quick run of play, we'll be giving Irene on our screen a chance to give her short presentation on her thoughts for this topic. And then we will open the floor to a broader dialogue with everyone. So have your thoughts ready, have your contributions, have your opinion of technology. Are you pro? Are you against? This kind of thing. So to give Irene a short introduction, she's a software engineer with expertise in technology, AI, digital governance, the works. She works at the representative office for the DMUN Foundation at the UN office in Nairobi, and has significant experience at the international and regional level. We are incredibly excited to have her at this event and to hear her expertise. Let me share your slides, Irene, and then when you're ready, please go ahead. Let me just share my slides. Fantastic. Wonderful. There we are. Irene, when you're ready, please go ahead and let me know when you need me to change slides.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, wonderful. Please go ahead. Take your time.
Cool. So my name is Irene Nyangasi. As Naomi has done such a great work introducing me, I feel so honored and blessed. Thank you so much for that great recognition. Professionally, I'm a software engineer. Also into AI governance and policy. I work for the DMUN Foundation based here in Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm so glad to be part of this conversation this evening. So for a start, I think you can I'm assuming everyone knows the topic is on the digitization. Okay.
Yes, they do. Yes, please go ahead.
So I really think this conversation matters because digital platforms are evolving, and a lot of people lack access or the skills, and they lack access to internet, especially here in Africa. Not everyone has the opportunity to get these skills. So it's such an honor and a privilege to get to have this conversation and share with open-minded people. Millions still face barriers accessing technology and affordable internet, as I said earlier. and digital skills. And there are so many digital skills that are currently so marketable and that are really empowering people's lives. Personally, I didn't start out as a techie, but along the way, I realized I had a passion for tech. So I started my journey later on after I had studied something totally different. And tech is great. It's really changed the trajectory of my life in so many ways. And we get to learn every day. There are new technologies coming up. Every day there are new things, AI. I know it's a buzzword right now. Everyone is talking about it, but like you have to, keep up with the pace. So this creates a digital divide that can limit the people who can participate and whose voices are heard and who benefits from the digital opportunities. So having this conversation is really important because if we get to spread the word, and we get to, create public awareness on this topic. Next slide, please. Okay, on the next slide, the digital divide and evolving activism. I would say the digital divides really affects many groups, um, including communities from indigenous communities, vulnerable communities, low-income households, women, persons with disabilities. Personally, I come from a very local town in my town here in Kenya where we do not even have internet, and a lot of people do not get access to uh, these services, especially older people, the women, the youth. So activism has really evolved, and social media and digital tools have made it easier to raise awareness, to organize campaigns, to tell stories, and mobilize communities. And emerging technologies like AI also would really create exciting opportunities, but they also require responsible use to address challenges such as misinformation and privacy. So we really have to also be careful with the use of AI. Um, so sorry, I got distracted with the people who are texting, but it's okay. Activism can also how activism is changing. Social media will enable uh, public awareness and global movements. Now, if you just post something on social media, it goes viral, and we will get to spread the word. So digital tools support organizing, fundraising, storytelling, and community engagement. And AI is really emerging and emerging technologies. They are really creating new opportunities. But as I said, also, we need to manage how the use of AI and new ethical and misinformation challenges so that we do not mislead people, so that we do not uh, give use people's maybe the way people could impersonate others using AI and doing all sorts of things that could damage other people's reputation. Next slide. On building an inclusive digital future, I think creating an inclusive digital future requires collaboration. Activists need to design campaigns that everyone can access. So technologies should build affordable and accessible tools, and policymakers must invest in digital infrastructure. also and protect digital rights. We also need to strengthen digital literacy, online safety, responsible AI use, and data storytelling. Also, closing the digital gap. It's not just about internet access. It's about ensuring everyone has the opportunity to participate, everyone has the opportunity to advocate, and everyone has an opportunity to create meaningful change. So I think I've summarized this slide. We can move to the final slide.
I don't think I have a final slide on my.
Okay, okay,
Are you able to just
okay,
share your
sure.
thoughts instead?
Okay, so lastly, I hope we will have this more of these conversations because the world is also evolving and we also need to evolve and we need to spread the word and we need to create more public awareness as policymakers, as uh, people who are in governance, as personally as someone who is doing a lot of international relations work. I would really, and I know maybe you could wonder how I'm leveraging my tech skills into the international relations space. So because that's how I felt like, how can I use my tech skills in this space? So I would say building an inclusive digital future requires collaboration. So, and this collaboration will be between governments, will be between different technology companies, the civil society, and different communities. So, together, if we invest in digital literacy and accessible technology where we make it accessible for everyone, and policies that can assure everyone to participate, I think we will go further and everyone will feel included. So it's upon us to spread the word and create public awareness. Thank you. That's my parting shot.
Thank you so much, Irene, for your wonderful contributions. Let me just close my screen share. Wonderful. There we are. We're back. Thank you so much. And thank you for your concluding thoughts. I apologize I didn't have your final slide, but
It's
I'm
okay.
really glad that you could summarize everything you've talked about. Maybe just to give a short kind of summary and a response from what you said. I feel like it was really powerful, your comments on equity, not just access, is that we've had a couple of comments come in through the chat in that it's not just internet access that is the challenge here. Don't get me wrong, that is a massive factor in access in being making these spaces more inclusive. But it's the capacity building, it's the literacy, it's the modification and modernization of many different working styles and working practices. It's access to the technology itself, not just the internet spaces. And I think there's so many overlapping features and caveats that come with this big umbrella term that is the digital divide. And I really felt like you touched on a lot of the important collaboration points in order to overcome some of those challenges. So thank you so much, Irene, for your wonderful contributions. I'm sure if anyone has any questions about her presentation or would like to follow up afterwards, I'm sure Irene would be more than happy to connect with you. I can share her details afterwards if that's okay with you. In the absence of our second speaker, I would love to shift straight on to the dialogue section. I've already seen some fantastic comments come in, as I've said through the chat. Perhaps I can call out on a couple of them. Monem Sadie, you've said some fantastic things in here about equity with a gender perspective, about resources from governments. Would you be interested in sharing a little bit more out loud on this call?
Yes, Naomi, thank you so much for actually inviting me for this wonderful platform.
No
Actually,
problem.
I thank the lady. I thank you, the lady from Kenya, with this wonderful and real life presentation about the access to digital resources. I think there is, especially in Africa and also in the Arab world, this is actually state of the South. We have the same problem actually. So the access of education, access to resources, access to internet, and how the government can make more investment in digital technology alongside with actually having digital human resources. So we still have the problem with the funding, still have the problem with the ineffective, responsive public policies. And at the same time, there's a barrier actually prevents up some governments in the South to have international cooperation with those actually with high profile of technology. So the problems there. I think women, one of the victims of actually of having a safe digital spaces. There is no actually there's spaces. From my experience, I work at actually women empowerment in Libya. So there's more disinformation. Actually, the more labeling of women activism in public life. So digital space when actually more to be more safe. This actually we actually can ensure that all women can effectively participate in the public space. This is my thoughts, and I'm listening to other actually presentation for the other presenter. Thank you so much, Naomi.
No problem at all. It's lovely to see you again, and thank you for consistently coming to our events. I really appreciate it. And you touched on some very key issues where the digital space can be a huge opportunity for participation, for access, a fantastic and exciting opportunity for governments in terms of their public policy. However, it comes with all of these challenges, primarily funding, but also disinformation and education. Peter Nampala, I can see you have your hand up. Would you like to go ahead and share your contributions?
Okay, thank you, thank you. First, I would like to thank Irene for the presentation on digitalization. I have a comment or something that I would like maybe to add. According to our country within Africa, there is a challenge about the digitalization extension. So that it is better to invest maybe on the building the network up to the village so as to support the extension or in order to spread the digitalization because we face something when we work with the community. For example, maybe you can take the activity of collecting the data. So when we go within the village, the problem which affects us is about the network. Do not support it. So it is better maybe to invest on building that network in order to support the spreads of the digitalization. Another thing is about the resistance to change. Some of the civil servants do not adapt to the digitalization technology. They really live and they use the analog device, which is out of date. So it is better also to invest to them maybe through the building capacity on the using of this device so as to support digitalization because we know the digitalization have a different importance such as it tends to simplify our works. Also, it save the time when we perform the different activities. So according to the presentation from my neighbor Irene, it is better maybe to emphasize the community to provide maybe to train the community about the digital device on how to use so as to support this digitalizations. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. And I can see Irene sharing her reaction there. I appreciate your comments because, yes, I agree. Sometimes the challenge isn't just from the government's perspective. Don't get me wrong, again, it is. They need to extend connectivity and access, but it's also, you're right, it's that resistance to change. It's the idea that it's easier to go along with the analog systems that we have already because that education, because that knowledge seems so daunting. and also just isn't present because the skills and the expertise aren't widely known. Thank you so much for your contributions. Sahir Ahmed, please go ahead.
Yes. Hello. Do you hear me?
Hello, go ahead. Yes.
Yes, because I do not know about the connection, how long it will stay on. Because here in Vienna, we have a very dirty weather. Very sorry for saying that, but a strong storm, raining, and very, very bad outside here. The main point is yes, about digitalization. This is today, nowadays, a very modern topic, very interesting. And here in Vienna, I can speak about the field of law firms, lawyers, and so on. They have taken part, they are taking part nowadays in this topic of digitalization. Now, every bureau, every of this law firm is digital or has done this digitalization. They are very forward in this digitalization, which is a very good item, I think, a very good changing for the modern way for the future is very well, because of the globalization and of the connection through social media and through these tools, maybe emails. You are already able to connect everybody all over the world at every time, 24 hours per day. And this is very good for the connection and for the changing the items and the knowledge sharing. And digitalization is also very, very good for the youngsters at school. We have to learn more about computational items, how to use these digital skills to use them effectively. And so I am also a big fan of this digitalization, and I'm very glad that today we have this opportunity about speaking about digitalization. There should be more knowledge about that, and more people should share about digitalization. This is very, very effective and useful tool for the future.
I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you so much for your thoughts and your comments. This is the first time ODIF has run a technology related event, and it's really promising that it has been received so well by the participants on this call. Thank you. Our work is completely online, as I'm sure a lot of everyone in the audience is to an extent. And we are able to connect with everyone from completely different countries in a way that would not be possible otherwise. I've seen a fantastic comment just pop up now from Josephine Alabi. Would you be interested in sharing your comments out loud as well? If not, no problem, I can read it out. Perhaps I'll go ahead and read it out for anyone who's not here on and visible for the chat. So Josephine comments that the digital divide means the gap between people who have reliable access to the internet and those who don't. For marginalised communities, that gap hits harder because it stacks on top of existing inequalities. You make a really good point there, in my opinion. Just as Sahir Ahmed made the comment about jobs and corporate digitalisation, we find those without the digital skills are locked out of those professions and are locked out of that entire part of the economic production, which is really exclusive and heightens inequalities such as social and job inequalities. You make a really good point also in your comment. I don't know if other people can see this about COVID. I know we harken back to this a lot, but I feel like COVID made a massive era shift in how we understand technology, how jobs understand technology, and that kind of side of our world. I also want to pick up on an earlier comment from the chat from David Joseph Aliu. Would you be interested in sharing more your thoughts?
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, please go ahead.
Yes, okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity. David Joseph Aliu, Freetown, Sierra Leone. And as we are speaking, we are in the rains. Connectivity is a challenge. Even to make a call, you see, it boils you. For you to connect and talk to your colleague is a challenge. So how do we ensure that the mobile network operators improve on their services? Do you understand? People are paying the cost of recharging the mobile phones the cost of connecting internet, access to data is challenging. Then when you are making calls, it is very difficult for us to connect. And also, scammers are now using the mobile networks. We are seeing it as a blessing, but it has started to become a cause on us because they are now using it to dupe people, to take money from people. For instance, somebody we hack your mobile networks, so you will not be able to send message, but that individual will be able now to send message to your colleagues that let them send money for him or her. This is currently happening in Sierra Leone. So how do we ensure that we engage the mobile network providers and our respective government to take actions and ensure that we track those things? These are some of the problems we are having in the country.
You make a very, very good point. If it's okay to share my personal comments as a follow-up, alongside ODIF, I do work with a Genevan company in Switzerland on the harm against civilians in conflict and violence-affected regions. And we are currently expanding more towards the digital technology impact of mitigating and exacerbating those harms. I read a really interesting report earlier today on the partnerships between humanitarian organizations and tech companies and the challenge of engaging those tech companies in these discussions. So when you're speaking about engaging mobile phone networks, engaging tech experts, whether from a positive policy perspective or whether from a hacking more malpractice side of things, I think it's a real challenge to engage those actors in these discussions. We are all coming here from more of a public sector personal capacity rather than necessarily from a tech expertise. And I think there's also a gap when we're talking about digital divide in the willingness to interact in these kind of spaces between companies and then private individuals. And I think that private sector thrives on opacity and a lack of sharing information, and that almost runs in counter to trying to oppose this digital divide. So thank you so much for your contributions. Josephine, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Please pardon me because the issue of communication, the internet is really very poor here. So I will actually want to say something about some of those things that we could actually use it for, especially in the communities, you know, in terms of education and skills, you know, problems of internet at home. And then we could also look at it, there's positive aspects of it too. During the COVID-19, we're able to make use of internet, you know, for Zoom meeting, Teams, and etc. It actually make people to actually communicate. So probably the positive aspects of it also, economic opportunity for jobs, for finance, in terms of, because you need some data, some apps, you know, to actually do some things, or maybe your social media to promote what you do. In terms of health and well-being, you know, you actually need stuff like telemedicine in terms of health, misinformation, results, you know, this are you actually need all those things. And for data gap also, you know, especially when you actually need to actually generate some information. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, you're all good. Please
Hello.
continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So in terms of civic participation and rights, you know, maybe governments need it for their services also, for birth certificates, because you actually need to give records of the childbirths, etc. And then, you know, we have different issues whereby if when children are born and then they are not registered, is going to actually be some kind of like problems in terms of statelessness. You know, what I mean by statelessness, you know, is not really so good because you don't have record, you are not in the data of your country or for any purposes. So, and in Africa, you know, we actually have data as a challenge. And you need data, accurate data, for instance, if you want to actually do something in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of probably to actually do something is of huge concern. I heard some of my colleagues also said for communication, like now I cannot put on my video because if I do that, I might be cut off. And I know that you called me earlier on, I could not really connect. So it's one of the problems we have in Africa. Then issue of safety, social inclusion, information in emergencies, you know. So there's a whole lot. And if we don't manage data, or, you know, it's something that can also cause some times of digital harassment in such a way that those who do get online without safety training, you know, you can be vulnerable. So we actually, some of the things we do in my organization, actually training young people, you have the children, safety tips, etc. You know, you can actually use your social media to actually do necessary things. You can go online, maybe you Google some information to do your assignments, maybe like in secondary school, in primary school, with the aid of their guardians or parents. So I think that's just a few things I need to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your contributions. And I'm sorry I called on you earlier and read out your comments. I hope it gave you a chance to connect. So thank you. I agree completely. I think you raised a really good point about emergencies, in that if you use your data for work, and I'm very lucky that all of you have managed to join this call and use your capacity for that, for this event. But you're right, what happens when you need help? What happens when you need support? It's not just talking about jobs and finances, it's talking about everyday life and basic needs, I think, sometimes at the end of the day. And it's hard also in an economic and financial capacity to commit to work if you don't know if your internet service is reliable, for example. I think we see this massive disparate gap between governments that are investing in high-tech technology that you see on the news, and then the everyday reality of just mobile phone connectivity. I think there's a massive difference between where the governments think they want to be and where they actually are. And the participant earlier who raised the point about public policy needing development, I think that's where that conversation really comes into force. Irene, I don't know if you have any comments at this point, or has anyone said anything in the discussion that has picked up on something you find important?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Okay, I think I'll just say technology should amplify every voice, not just when existing inequalities, but together we can build a more inclusive digital future. And it's really sad that we experience a lot of, even me personally here, I've experienced internet downtime for me to join this meeting. So it's I think when we make digital spaces inclusive, when we empower communities, especially the vulnerable communities, the people who lack access to these spaces, children, women, people with disabilities, and all other indigenous communities, when we empower them we create a lasting change. And digital inclusion is not a privilege, it's a pathway to equal opportunity. So I feel like we should ensure no one is left behind.
You're absolutely right. And we need to see more of that no one is left behind narrative in these digital spaces. Peter, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Naomi. Thank you. Also, I have something to add. I can say that we observed as a retro difference between politicians' influence and the digitalization. And this we experienced in our country because I can say the last maybe 4 months we had the voting period, election period. So there are some of politicians that tried maybe to give a pressure the person to use the social media, because some of the people use the social media maybe to discourage the leaders. So there's something that happened is to rock some of the social media platform such as Twitter. But we know Twitter that it good platforms that help the people to share the information and different information related to the country. So the some of the readers tried maybe to rock that and provided pressure to the community or to the community member, and not anyone who allowed maybe to use the Twitter. So this is what happened. This is, I can say, that contributed to the different activity was not performed, different activity do not conducted, because there are people who are depending on social media to perform their activities. So when you ban the social media platform, maybe you affect the people, the development, maybe economically, socially, and can say that academically, because the people, they use YouTube, they use Twitter, they use Facebook. So it is better now to sit together with the politicians and to discuss that it is a harmful decision, yes, to ban this social media platform, because the people depend this social media platform maybe to perform their work, and that enables them to earn income for developing maybe for the development of the households. So this is very dangerous. Maybe we can discuss on how we can overcome this. We have seen the politicians have a great influence to this social platform. Thank you.
No, thank you. You're absolutely right. And we haven't spoken so much on digital safety in this discussion. And you make really good points. And I think a micro example of what you're talking about is also when we get internet blackouts, either purposeful or based on connectivity. And we have those same challenges with social media bans, but on a wider scale. I'm going to turn to Shadrach Kwari now, because I haven't heard from yourself yet. Please, would you like to share your contributions?
Yes, thank you, Naomi, for giving me the opportunity. My contribution comes from the vulnerable communities, people with disability, the elderly, and I'm speaking in context with the Southern African scenario, where majority of these people stay in rural areas, and our rural areas are so pathetic to an extent that a person in the rural setup cannot even afford a smartphone. You get what I'm saying? We're talking of someone who can get a phone that can go on WhatsApp, that can Google. So one thing I was looking at is the willingness of the government of that country to sort of support or have cheaper phones that can be accessed by the poor people. That's one good thing. To say majority of the people cannot afford, I usually work with the vulnerable farmers. You ask them, I send an SMS or I send a message on your WhatsApp group. It's only a few farmers who are better off who would have seen that message. So access is affected basically by the type of phones that they are not available and are not affordable. Secondly, is the issue of data. Here we, like, if I'm to give a practical situation in Zimbabwe, we use Econet and Net1. You need to buy data for 1 day cannot, data for $1 cannot finish a week. And there are some information that you cannot search using such cheap data. So it would be also good for the government to have free networks whereby they introduce free network for the poor people in the village. Like say they find a center within a village where if farmers or people in the community want in an internet, they come to a farmer learning center where they can access the energy, because energy again on its own, most of the phones are usually flat because they don't have the batteries. There is no electricity to charge the phones. So there are so many other factors that contribute to the challenges of digitalization, especially when we are looking at the vulnerable communities, people with disability, issues of energy, issues of finance, issues of data, issues of the types of phones they are using. If this is to be looked at, that will then improve the digitalization in the rural communities. I thank you. I settle my case.
Thank you very much. And thank you for remembering to bring back in the vulnerable communities in this discussion, how it uniquely affects those with existing inequalities even more so. And hence the digital divide is exponentially increasing because we are not supporting those communities through a multifaceted policy, such as the accessibility and price even of mobile phones. Daisy, Joseph, Ali, would you like to share your comments as well?
Again, thank you again for giving me the opportunity. I just want to deliberate more on the issue of accountability and transparency in connection to digital access. Yeah, accountability and digital access is a challenge, and I believe for us in the South countries, we need to do more because our governments, the mobile network operators, we don't know what are they taking away from us. That is one. As deprived countries, for instance, as I mentioned earlier, I buy my data, and other colleagues mentioned, I buy my data. For instance, I should use it for 5 days or 7 days. In a space of 2 days, it is finished. Who do I hold accountable for that? Is my government ready to talk for me? No, they are not. So transparency and accountability, we should not leave it. Yes, the using of digital is good, is this or other issues, but let's look at the challenges it has. The last speaker rightly mentioned about affordability. Yeah, most of those devices, how affordable are they? In a message I sent to the group, I talked about iPhone. iPhone are only accessible by those that have some privileges or somebody dash you. If not, how do you access iPhone? And those digital devices are very expensive. Yeah, and we are also talking about privacy. How do you ensure that our privacy are protected? Data protection, our privacy, every day they are asking for our data, information from individuals. How are we assured? How our governments are ensuring that our information, our data are protected? These are the questions we need to ask the mobile network service providers in our various countries in Africa, because transparency and accountability is being a challenge for all of us. How do we ensure that we hold them accountable? These are just some of the issues I had wanted to bring up.
I really appreciate your comment. That is a very strong thought. I agree. And I think my thought would be that part of that reason is to do with the commodification and focus on profit for a lot of these companies, in that it is about how much they can make, to an extent, how much they can exploit, whether meaningful or not. And you're right, as a result, there is no option for recourse, there's no option for accountability, there's no one to ask, no one to contact. Your government, you're right, no one is listening. And I think that contributes to technology making people feel very isolated, not only if they don't have access, but if something goes wrong, there's no one to speak to raise the problem with. And there's no one wanting to listen, because if you have the finances, then people do listen. But I think we're seeing that point about exacerbating exponential inequalities come up again and again in all of our contributions. I really appreciate everyone's thoughts here. Thank you so much for such an interesting discussion. Maybe I can have one more comment from Sahar Ahmed, and then
Yes.
we will close if you want to say your final thoughts.
Yes, thank you. My final thought is that there must be more training, more education about digitalization and all the other stuff which is connected with it. More training, more education, that everyone has more idea, especially the young people, because of the future, and the youngsters will have in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years a lot to do with this type, with the computational items, with the internet, and also with the digitalization, to be prepared for a globally well future, also for the working places, for the jobs, different types of jobs in the field of law, in the field of banking, in the field of technology, yes, also, but in the field of medicine, in the field of science, researchment, robotics, this kind of stuff. Everything is connected with technology, and digitalization is an important tool for the future, very important, also for the global future. And for all the countries in the future, will be very advantageable to work together. Internet is a very good tool. You stay in your home office maybe, but you are connected all over with the people all over the world. So have a good idea what is happening in the other countries. And this advantage we should use and make efficienter in our daily work for better future.
You are absolutely right. Thank you so much for your contributions. Maybe I will, now that everyone has participated in the dialogue and had their thoughts, I will come to Irene for her final concluding thoughts for this session.
Okay, so I would just love to say this digital divide, it limits access to essential opportunities. It limits access to education. It limits access to jobs. And we miss out on opportunities, not because we don't know, but just because of the lack of access. So without reliable internet, digital devices, or digital skills, people may struggle to access online education. Some schools offer online educations. We cannot apply for jobs. We also use digital platforms for healthcare services. For access to government services. Like here in Kenya, we have platforms. There's one called Huduma Center. There's one called eCitizen, KRA for filing taxes. So, and even the last deadlines for filing taxes here in Kenya, it's normally such a rush. Everyone is in a rush, and we are experiencing a downturn, and some people who work in remote areas and they need to file their taxes, but they can't because of just lack of good connectivity. So this leaves many communities at a disadvantage, and it really widens existing inequalities. So this is a conversation that we need to keep on having. We need to not imagine missing out on an opportunity because of poor internet, or because you can't access, or because you can't afford, and now you miss out on jobs, you miss out on scholarships, you miss out on fellowships. So the digital divide affects more than just internet access. It affects so many areas, and many schools now rely on online learning platforms. But students without those internets in remote areas here in Kenya, like we have places called like Turkana. I'm just giving those names here in Kenya that probably most of you might not know, but like those kids there, they even do not know what is internet. And it really limits them. They have so much potential. They can do so much. They can go so further in life, but just because of such issues with the internet, they get to miss out on opportunities. Personally, I've been so privileged. I come from a remote village, but I live in the city, and I've been so privileged to even through internet, that's how I got to meet Naomi, and we got to exchange emails and talk and plan this. So I'm really so privileged and so grateful for this opportunity to be able to speak, to amplify, to speak for my people back at home, back in my village, back in my hometown, and represent them and talk for them, and we see what can be done to support such talents. Thank you so much. It's been such an honor. I can talk and talk and talk because talking is what I get paid to do. But I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, Naomi, and the entire team at the Open Dialogues International Foundation. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I hope to be joining more of these conversations. And thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you for all your insights. It's been such an amazing conversation. It's been so great listening to different perspectives and from different point of views and getting to exchange our insights. It's been so educational and so inciting. Thank you so much all, and have a lovely night, a lovely evening, a lovely day, considering from whichever location you're joining from.
Thank you so much, Irene, for your kind words. I agree. This is one of my most favorite platforms because we have such wonderful people and participants on the call and such wonderful speakers. It has been a lovely opportunity to connect with you online, Irene, and thank you so much for being our speaker today. Of course, thank you so much to everyone on this call. We look forward to seeing you again next month. We will have shared some links in the chat, but you can always reach out to us at contact@open-dialogues.org. On our website. Please also follow us on social media because you'll see a lot of these regular updates. And thank you so much for following our mailing list. We really appreciate it. I will be sending around certificates to everyone later this week when I have a chance to take a note of the attendance, and also a feedback form and a short summary available in English and French for everyone to follow the dialogue afterwards. Please repost on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on your email, on your contacts. It's a wonderful opportunity to spread the word about these events. I will stop the recording and we'll end the meeting, but thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, night, afternoon, wherever it is for you, and see you next month. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.